I supported my husband through flight school, to airlines, and his dream job. Now I'm alone raising our twins, burning out, and questioning if I can stay in a marriage where I'm the only present parent. Before I start, I am requesting you guys to please subscribe to my channel. I have uploaded a lot stories. I don't really know how to start this except to say that I feel lost and tired, and like I'm standing in the middle of a life I built, but somehow it doesn't feel like mine anymore. I'm married to a pilot. He flies for a cargo airline in Europe. He's been with the company for the past 8 years now, and I've been here with him for 6 of those. We have twin boys, 4 years old. Beautiful, energetic, maddening little boys who need more of me than I sometimes feel I have to give. When I met him, he wasn't even a pilot. I remember the first time we spoke during my semester abroad at university. It was one of those messy, loud house parties. Warm beer, scratchy music, too many people in a too small space. We were both far from home. 2 Eastern Europeans in Western Europe, clinging to mutual friends and speaking English because it was the easiest bridge between our 2 mother tongues. I liked him immediately. He was grounded in a way that steadied me. I thought, this is someone I could build something with. I told him, even back then, what I wanted out of life. I told him how I lost my father young, how I'd watched my mother shoulder everything on her own. I told him that I wanted a partner who'd show up, who'd stay. I didn't want to be left behind. I didn't want to be the woman cooking dinner at an empty table or sitting alone in the audience at school plays. He said he understood. He said he wanted that too. But life is slippery, isn't it? What we want at 23 doesn't always line up neatly with the realities we walk into later. When he joined the airline, we weren't even talking about kids yet. We were still fumbling through our 20s, figuring out careers, chasing opportunities. And then I got pregnant. Unplanned. Twins, no less. I was terrified. I won't sugarcoat that. We both were. But I thought, we'll face it together. We'll figure it out side by side. At the time, he was flying 3 weeks out of every month. Gone more than he was home. Long-haul cargo flights, sometimes across continents, sometimes just overnight hops between European capitals. And when I got pregnant, we sat down and had the hard talk. He promised he'd cut his hours. That when the babies came, he wouldn't be gone as much. That we'd be in this together. And to be fair, he did. He switched to a 7-on, 7-off schedule. 1 full week working, 1 full week home. Half the month gone. Half the year gone. At first, I thought I could manage that. After all, it was better than 3 weeks gone, right? But now, for years in, I'm so deeply, soulfully exhausted that I can't see straight anymore. Our boys are wonderful and wild and full of life. But they are demanding. They are 2 little whirlwinds tearing through the house, through my patience, through my identity. And more often than not, I am alone in it. I try to talk to him. I tried so many times. I said, I'm drowning. I said, I don't feel like myself anymore. I said, I need more from you. And every time, he looked at me with that calm, level stare and said, I get it. But you knew what you were getting into. And maybe, technically, that's true. I knew he'd be gone sometimes. I just didn't know how heavy it would feel when he was. He always adds, the wives of my colleagues are doing fine. And maybe they are. But their lives look different. Most of them stay at home full-time. They've made peace with that, or maybe even wanted that. I never did. I work in nonprofit. I love it. I love the mission, the people, the feeling that what I do matters to someone out there. But the moment I became a mother, and the moment he kept flying, I had to scale back. Now I work part-time. I go into the office when I can, squeeze in emails during nap times, take calls with a 4-year-old clinging to my leg. And when I try to explain how hollow it feels to have had a career I loved and to watch it stall out, he shrugs and says, yeah, same for me, I earn less now too. And I want to scream, because it's not the same. He still leaves the house. He still has colleagues, conversations, coffee breaks. He still has promotions on the horizon, certifications to renew, milestones to meet. I have laundry. I have tantrums. I have 2 tiny humans asking me for snacks and stories and endless patience every waking hour. And I used to be someone. I used to be more than this. What scares me most isn't the exhaustion, it's how invisible I feel. How quietly I've disappeared behind the curtain of his career and our family's logistics. I worry that one day I'll blink and 20 years will have gone by, and I won't remember who I was before this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to ask him for more when he genuinely thinks cutting to 7-on, 7-off was the compromise. I don't know how to balance the love I have for him and the resentment growing like a weed in the cracks of our marriage. There's another layer to all of this that I haven't said out loud, not even to my closest friends back home. Not that there are many left to tell anymore. It's about the money. It's always about the money, isn't it? We share a bank account. When we first set it up, it felt like the fair, modern thing to do. We agreed to split expenses by the percentage of our salaries. He makes more, so he covers a bigger share, and I cover what I can. On paper, it works. It looks fair. But paper doesn't tell the whole story. He still has way more money. His salary, even cut back to part-time flying, is leagues above what I make working part-time in nonprofit. After we both contribute our shares to the joint account, the mortgage, utilities, daycare, what's left is his. His savings. His car. His name on everything. His security. And mine? Mine is barely enough to keep my phone plan and buy groceries. I don't want to take his money. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not asking for handouts or a blank check. I'm not someone who wants to live off her husband and buy handbags with his paycheck. But I also know something that keeps me up at night. If I wanted to leave, I couldn't stay here. Everything, the house, the car, the insurance, even the daycare contracts, are in his name. I couldn't afford rent here. I couldn't buy a car to get to work or drive the boys to preschool. I don't even have the kind of credit history in this country to get a lease on my own. I'd have to go back. Back to my home country. Back to my mom and stepdad's small apartment where the boys would have to share a room and I'd be sleeping on a couch again at 34 years old. And I want that. I want to go home. Or at least, part of me does. I want to be somewhere where I speak the language natively, where I know how things work, where I have friends who've known me longer than 4 years, and where I don't have to explain myself all the time. Because here, I don't really have anyone anymore. My friends drifted away after the twins were born. Not because they didn't care, but because I stopped showing up. I left my old job when the kids came and never found the energy to build a new social circle. My days have been consumed by bottles, diapers, tantrums, doctor visits, and exhaustion. It didn't leave much room for coffee dates or happy hours. But I'm scared. God, I'm so scared. I'm scared that because he has more money, he could hire a better lawyer. That he could argue that he has the stable income, the home, the healthcare, the school system, and that a judge here would say, no, the kids should stay with their father. And what then? What does a mother do when she's told her babies are staying behind? I picture my boys growing up here, being raised by a nanny while he's away half the time, and me what? Calling once a week from across a border? Sending birthday presents from afar? That's not the life I wanted for them. That's not the life I wanted for me. And the irony is, people always say, oh, but 7 on, 7 off, that's not so bad, right? Sure. On paper, again, it looks manageable. 7 days away, 7 days home. But they don't factor in the jet lag. After every trip, he needs 2 or 3 days just to reset his body clock. He lands groggy and disoriented, and the first thing he asks when he walks in the door is there something cooked? I love him. I understand. So I cook his favorite meals. I stock the fridge before he gets back. I try to make home feel comforting and familiar after he's been sleeping in hotels and eating airport food all week. But the truth is, I'm dying inside. Because when he's home, the kids are in daycare and I'm working. So yes, he does housework. Sometimes he cooks dinner or runs a load of laundry. He's not lazy. That's not the issue. But when it comes to the invisible labor, the appointments, the decisions, it's all me. It's always me. I'm the one who knows when the boys last had their pediatrician checkup. I'm the one who tracks their vaccines, their allergies, the medicine dosages when they get sick. I'm the one who notices when one ear is red or when a cough sounds deeper than usual. He doesn't know because he can't know he's not here. But it doesn't stop me from feeling angry every time I have to explain it all over again, week after week. Before every trip, he needs a quiet day to rest and prepare. So we tiptoe. We don't disturb him. He sleeps in a separate room to get solid rest before flying. I get it. His job is serious, lives and cargo and pressure. But in those quiet days, it's still all me. I do breakfast, daycare drop-off, work, pick up, dinner, bath, bedtime. Alone. And of course, the boys prefer me. Of course they do. I'm the one who's here. He doesn't know their current favorite foods. He doesn't know which songs calm them down or which bedtime book is the go-to this month. And every time I try to tell him to hand over that knowledge like a baton in a race, I feel a little more resentful. Because it shouldn't be this hard. And maybe it isn't even his fault. But it still pisses me off. There's something else, too, something I haven't admitted even to myself until recently. The boys don't speak his language. Not really. They mainly speak mine because they're with me all the time. And when he tries to talk to them in his language, they don't respond well. They fidget, they look away, they shrug, or mumble something back in English. The language they hear at daycare, the language of their little world outside our front door. If they respond at all, he gets upset about it. I understand why. It stings him. I can see it on his face. He wants that connection to his culture, to his identity, to the part of him that's more than a uniform and a flight schedule. But what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to teach them his language on my own? I barely speak it myself. I'm conversational at best, enough to talk to his parents awkwardly at weddings and over Christmas calls, but not enough to teach it to 2 squirmy 4-year-olds in between everything else. We don't even own a TV. No cartoons dubbed in his language. No kids shows with bright colors and catchy songs to help them absorb it. Just me, this house, and whatever I can cobble together between cooking dinner and folding laundry. And somehow, it still ends up feeling like my fault. But here's the catch, I love him. I really do. I've been with him through 2 other airlines, countless job changes, pay cuts, relocations, hotel rooms, and sleepless nights. I've seen him study until 2 a.m. for flight exams. I've cheered him on when he aced his simulator checks. I've patched the elbows of his uniform shirts when the seams wore thin from long-haul flights. This current job is the first time he's genuinely happy. His smile is easy now when he talks about work. He's proud of his seniority. He's on the short list for a captain upgrade, and I know what that means to him. He's built this career brick by brick, and I don't want to be the one to knock it down. I don't want to give him an ultimatum. I don't want to say, choose me or the job, because I know he'd choose me. He loves me. He'd walk away if I asked him to. But the cost of starting over somewhere else, the type rating fees, the loss of seniority, the bonuses, the missed promotions, it would gut him. And even if he smiled and said it was okay, I know deep down he'd resent me for it. And what then? What kind of marriage survives that? But here's the thing I can't ignore anymore. I am not okay. And now I resent him. I am drowning, and every day it gets a little harder to pretend I'm not. I'm sitting here wiping noses, changing wet sheets at 3 a.m., catching puke in towels, soothing fevers with cold compresses, and Googling, is it normal for a 4-year-old to cough this much? While he sends me selfies from the Great Wall of China with a cocktail in hand and a cheerful "miss you guys." And I believe him. I do. I know he misses us. But he's out there living his dream. I'm here living nap to nap, tantrum to tantrum, day after day, month after month, year after year. And love doesn't clean vomit off the floor. Love doesn't answer the daycare phone call when someone spikes a fever and has to be picked up. Love doesn't remember shoe sizes that change every 3 months. Love doesn't sit up at midnight making sure both boys are still breathing after a bad cold. He buys me flowers when he gets home. He brings little trinkets from his travels, scarves, chocolates, tiny souvenirs. He kisses my forehead and tells me I'm beautiful. It's sweet. It's thoughtful. But it doesn't change anything. It doesn't fill the silence in this house when the boys are asleep and I'm folding laundry alone. It doesn't erase the fact that I am the one carrying this family on my back. I don't want to be with anyone else. It's not about that. I still love him, but I don't want to live like this anymore. And the terrifying, gut-wrenching truth is that if I leave, if I gather up my courage and tell him I'm done, I don't know if I'll be able to take the boys with me. He has the money. He has the house. He has the stable address, the documented income, the ability to provide a better standard of living. What do I have? A part-time job, a small savings account, a 1-bedroom at my mother's house in a different country. I am terrified that a court will look at me and say, no, the children stay here with their father. And what kind of mother would I be if I left without them? But if I stay, I am going to disappear completely. I can feel it already, pieces of myself chipping away every day. My dreams, my ambitions, my joy, my sense of self. I used to be someone. Now I'm just mom. Just the wife. Just the one who keeps things running. And I don't want my boys to grow up thinking this is normal. I don't want them to marry women someday and think, well, this is how it goes. Mom did everything, so that's just what women do. I don't want them to look at me and see someone who gave up everything she was just to keep everyone else afloat. I love him. I love myself. But most of all, I love my kids. And loving them means showing them what a whole, healthy, happy person looks like. Right now, I am not that person. And I don't know what to do. A piece of advice for me would be very helpful.